It's no secret that Michael Jordan was Kobe Bryant's idol growing up, so would it be crazy to see Kobe take a page out of the Hall of Famer's book and come out of retirement for an opportunity to compete for another title now that LeBron James is on the Los Angeles Lakers? Well, yes, but that hasn't prevented one of Kobe's former teammates included, from wondering what a possible comeback might look like. Any Kobe return would be all about managing expectations. When Jordan returned for his stint with the Wizards, he was a year and a half younger than Bryant is now, but had played 7 fewer seasons and nearly 14,000 fewer minutes than Bryant. While it's true that few players Bryant's age have ever averaged as many points as he did in his final season, it took him 9 field goal attempts to score 17.6 points per game, ranking him 113th among the 117 qualified players that season in points per shot. The three-point shooting would be the greatest concern when evaluating Kobe's fit on these Lakers. Kobe attempted a career-best 7.1 three-pointers per game in 2015-16 and made just over a quarter of those opportunities. He was slightly more efficient on catch-and-shoot looks, but not to the point where defenses had to stay glued to him off-ball. For a player who dominates the ball as much as he does, surrounding LeBron with some combination of Rage and Rondo, Lonzo Ball, Lance Stevenson and Kobe in the backcourt would hurt the team's spacing in a big way. It's not as though the Lakers are currently loaded with shooting at other positions either. The only hope would be that playing alongside LeBron would make Kobe's life far easier than it was in his last season, and it would. The Lakers were a young team in 2015-16, with a 23-year-old Jordan Clarkson, a 21-year-old Julius Randle, and a 19-year-old D'Angelo Russell soaking up most of the minutes. Los Angeles lacked playmakers outside of them, Lou Williams being the only one who could create consistent shots for himself and others. It manifested in Kobe leading the team in usage and field goal attempts, most of which were tightly contested, a less than ideal combination for someone in their 20th season who had racked up as many injuries as he had down the final stretch of his career. If he were to return now, Kobe would likely come off the bench and be more of a specialist rather than a primary option, a move that would make him a more efficient scorer considering he'd have LeBron, one of the greatest passers of all time, feeding him the ball. Kobe would also benefit from going up against weaker defenders on second units as opposed to starters. As much as he struggled with efficiency, there was still a lot of vintage Kobe in his game in 2015-16, particularly from mid-range. Being able to create his own shot off the dribble helped him finish behind only 10 players in points scored in isolation that season, as well as the top half of the league in pick and roll and post-up efficiency. Kobe's comfort on the block would probably be his greatest asset now given how frequently the best teams in the league switch on defense. With Brandon Ingram, Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson being Los Angeles's best one-on-one scorers outside of LeBron, it wouldn't hurt having someone else who could attack a mismatch with their back to the basket, both as the primary or secondary ball handler in bench-heavy units and as the secondary or tertiary option with the starters. Despite not having the same lift anymore, Kobe will always be able to create separation with his patented fadeaway. That would at least give Kobe a blueprint for success if he were to come out of retirement for one more run. It wouldn't be seamless, but teaming up with LeBron would give him an opportunity to pick and choose his spots in ways he couldn't. When he went on his farewell tour. He'd be able to spot up around the most dominant player currently in the NBA and take some of the playmaking pressure off of his shoulders by doing what he always did best. Another reason for optimism: Kobe would be able to be more selective with when he plays. Having already said his goodbyes to every team in the league, he'd be able to play only when needed, which would help keep him fresh for the entire season. While he still wasn't the most efficient scorer, Kobe was a different player in his final season on multiple days rest. Not that Kobe is going to follow in the footsteps of Jordan by announcing he's back, but we can dream.